Hi, in this video I will explain how to properly install my UI for the Burning Crusade anniversary. I have profiles for tanks and healers, for Full HD in-game resolution, for Quad HD resolutions, and a bundle of more than 50 WeakAuras. All of this I share with my subscribers on Boosty or Patreon. If you want to learn more, hop into my Discord. There is an interactive server where I upload my work, talk with people, and also post changelogs. You will not feel lonely for sure. If you're interested in subscribing, you can read more about it in the channel called How to Sub. Here, you will find the link to my Discord in the description of this video. Alright, let's start. You subscribed and now you are wondering how to get the UI, right? Don't worry, it's very easy. First of all, let's open our game folder, anniversary, and let's make a backup of our WTF folder in case you would like to backup your previous settings anytime later. After that, go to interface folder and remove all of the add-ons that you use here. We don't need them since we'll be placing the MerfinUI add-on package. And let's do the same in the WTF folder. By removing the account and save the variables folders. You can keep the config file since the config file just contains the options for your game resolution, sounds, etc. Also, I've completely forgotten about that. Go to the guides channel in my Discord, hop into the clean high quality icons, read the guide and download the clean high quality icons and place them into your interface folder here. These icons will make your icons in the game having quite high quality. Alright guys, now open the chat called TBC UI WeakAura. Here I add all the links to my addons and WeakAuras. Click on the addons here. That would open a new chat. And let's download addons and MerfinUI. Click on the download buttons here. That would download them to your downloads folder. I provide MerfinUI separately because I update it quite often and this channel is the only place where you can get it. Open the zip files. I use WinRAR, but the default Windows extractor should also work, and extract everything into your add-ons folder. MerfinUI and all of the add-ons. And before logging into the game, I highly recommend opening the CurseForge application and update the add-ons for the Burning Crusade anniversary. I don't update my add-ons folder here in this channel every time when some add-on is getting update, because doing this every time is a complete nightmare. You can skip that step if you don't have the application, but I still recommend you to getting it a bit later and keeping your add-ons updated. Alright, now let's log in into the game. Once we'll be in the main game menu, we don't press enter world immediately. We'll need to make sure that every add-on is enabled, except for the ones that you intentionally disabled. And we need to make sure that this checkbox is checked. So make sure it's checked. Now you can log into the game, enter world. On your first login, you will see the LVI installation window. You must run this installation, so skip all the steps and press finished at the end. Without this, the MerfinUI installer will not appear. If you accidentally close the window or like reload it and it's no longer there, press ask, then LVI, like ask. Let's move this window for now, like ask, LVI, and then install. Alright. So after you pressed the finished in the LVI installer, right, the UI was reloaded, and then you will see the MerfinUI installation. If for some reason this MerfinUI installer did not appear, you can either type the command, let's close it, right? You can either type a command /MerfinUI spacebar install, or you can also open it through the LVI. So press ask, LVI, MerfinUI, and here's the installer. Alright, MerfinUI installer. Here you'll see multiple steps with buttons. By clicking them, you will install the add-on profiles and various settings. Just keep in mind that WeakAuras are not included here and must be imported separately later. I will explain that shortly. Each step has a detailed description, but I will quickly go through every one of them. Account settings. This sets up some CVRs and minor add-on settings. For example, it disables loud error sounds when a low error appears in the backstack add-on, etc. So you click load CVRs, continue. Chat settings. This sets up chat tabs and channels. For example, I move my loot messages into a separate tab, loot. And if you don't want to have a chat like that, just skip this step, it doesn't matter. Then we go to the profiles. Here you install the LVI profiles. These are the core UI settings like chat, action bars, minimap, and unit frames. Choose the profile based on your current role. Later I will also show how to make profiles switch automatically when you change specializations. Since this class and this specialization currently is Holy Priest, I will choose Healer. And about the Healer H and Healer V, the difference between them is that Healer H will place your party frames horizontally here in the middle, and the Healer V will place your party frames vertically here. I would prefer H, so I will press H. Alright, we pressed Healer, then we press Continue. Raid frames. Here you choose which add-on to use for party and raid frames. In my opinion, Cell is the better option and much easier to configure. However, at the time of recording this video, Cell may be slightly outdated for the Burning Crusade, so for now I will go with LVI frames. And we press Continue. Nameplates. This sets up Plater, which is used for the nameplates. Details. This assigns and positions the damage meter windows of the details add-on. Color theme. If you want class colored unit frames and details bars, choose the normal theme. If you prefer a darker look, choose the dark theme. And you can change this later at any time, by the way. Alright, action bars. By default, my action bars are hidden and only appear on mouse over. If you want them to be visible all the time, choose Show Always. Boss mods. This sets up deadly boss mod profiles. You can also use bigwigs, but it's not included in the add-on spec and must be downloaded separately. I will go with the DBM Healer. Combo text. This sets up combo text. I personally love XCT because it shows everything in a clean, compact window. If you prefer large floats in combo text, choose the Blizzard. Keep in mind that XCT is slightly outdated right now and may have minor bugs. Right, method rate tools. These configure basic method rate tool settings. And we press Finish Installation to complete the setup and reload the UI. Alright, after this, your interface should be fully installed and ready. Now, let's import the WeakAuras. Go back to Discord channel with the add-on links here, TBC UI WeakAura. Unlike all the releases, I decided not to bundle everything into one group. This gives you a full control over what you want to use. To import a WeakAura, click on the link. Like let's say we import UI anchors. Click on the link and download the text file here. And then you'll need to open this text file, copy the text, and then paste it into the WeakAuras import. So let's say we download WeakAura UI anchors, and by the way, I will talk later in the end of this video about what WeakAuras I recommend you to play with and what auras are like optional, kinda. So the difference between Full HD and Quad HD is explained here. Basically, Full HD means that you run Full HD profile, and Quad HD is that you run Quad HD profile resolution. To check that, just press Ask, press Options, go to your graphics, and you will be able to see what resolution you're currently playing on. Since I play on 2K, I will go with the Quad HD anchors. So you just download this, right? Then you just click on this, you copy it, like Ctrl A to select all, Ctrl C. This is a standard Windows 11 notepad, but you can open it with any notepads. And you just paste this code here. And you will do the same with every single other hour here. Like let's say we get experience bar, because I don't usually like to run the default LVUI experience bar. This one is made by Luxtos, and it has more options, and it's much nicer, I would say, right? And we also import the class panel. I will just import this for now, but later I will explain you like in more details. So we run quadragy, just open, literally copy and paste. Very easy, guys, very easy. And that's like it. Now you have the profile, now you have this. This doesn't have many buttons because I probably forgot to learn or like something else. Right? Alright guys, now if you play class like priest with two different specialization, one of them is healer, right, and the second one is the damage DPS, you might want your addons to switch automatically when you respec, because like for example profile for LVI in healer has one position of player frames and target frames, and in the DPS it has another. And so to make it automatically switch, we'll need to enable spec profiles in LVI and XCT, if you play with XCT, of course. Then we'll have to install additional profiles and assign one to each of our specialization. So in our case, we open LVI, since we have the second spec, and this is, by the way, is a primary talent spec, right? And this is one is a secondary talent spec. So we go to LVI, we go to profiles, we select enable spec profiles, and since our healer is the secondary talents, we assign this to secondary talent. Then we open the installer once again, UI install, we open it, or we can do it like through this tab, profiles, it doesn't matter. We go to profiles and we need to install the DPS tank profile, like additional one, right? And let's also do it, no, we don't use XCT right now, so yeah, we skip that. And now we open the LVI once again, going into profiles tab, and the secondary talents will be healer still, right? And primary talents will be DPS tank. And now whenever we switch our specs, let's try to switch it. If you want to switch specs, by the way, with talented, you press like right click on this icon. And we can see that everything was switched over, a new profile, a new layout. Also all of the raid frames, if you play with LVI raid frames. I highly recommend you to play with LVI right now, for the reasons I explained a bit earlier. Yeah. But once cell is fixed, I will let you know in the changelog. And I'll also add small description how to make cell also like switch your stuff. Alright, that's it. I'm very sorry for a bit chaotic explanation. I haven't prepared the text, and so I'm doing this fully YOLO. Now, let me quickly explain you about what auras I highly recommend you to get from this list. The list might expand with time, because I'm planning to add more stuff over time. But for now, the UI anchors, this is like this one you need to install for sure. This aura works like a positioner, basically, like a controller group, because all of the other auras, they basically inherit the position of stuff in this group. So for example, if you want to move your healer, no, let's say your like shadow priest class panel a bit higher, you will do it here in the anchors. So like you press on the class power bar, DPS anchor, and you change the E offset a bit higher. And now all of the class panels that you installed with MyUI, they will also be in that place, right? That's like really good, I think. And it also goes to like every other every other WeakAuras of mine, like time to die, crowd control, experience bar. If you want to move experience bar, you can do it here. And then later, if you'll be updating the general auras or like class auras from my Discord again, your auras will be still in the position that you set them up. That's the beauty of my UI. And yeah. Alright, we install class panel. You can also get the reminders. This is one of the best WeakAuras of mine. I think it's very good because this WeakAuras basically gives you a clickable icons. It like reminds you if you are missing some buff, if you forgot to buff someone else. And some icons are clickable. The ones that are out of combat because you can't initialize clickable frames in combat suddenly. So this is all clickable. This all like reminds you about stuff, right? Like that's I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing. Sorry guys, but it's actually amazing. And we go to TBC UI again. By the way, if you click like, for example, to reminders to get back, you can just click like here. It will get you back to this channel. You install experience bar, of course, you install this WeakAuras, but you only install these unit frames indicators if you play with LVI frames. The reason why I use them, okay, let me first of all show you what it is. So basically unit frame indicators contains the icons which are then placed on your raid frames and party frames. And the reason why I have them here in the WeakAuras is simply because the LVI buff indicators have not so many options. Like this one have not so many options, so they are disabled by default, and instead I use the WeakAuras here. Alright, then I would also highly recommend you to install the range indicator. It's somewhere here. Drop down list, player CC icon, and this one I think is like the very important one, this one, because I don't display the cast bars on the target and focus frames made by LVI for the same reasons, because they don't have so many options, and I prefer to display them through the WeakAuras. Since I'm kinda short in time, I won't explain you every single WeakAuras of mine here. You can go to every WeakAuras and you can read the whole description, what it does, etc. like here, and also have the preview image. So they are completely up to you. And the most important part is that if you are a low level, your class panels probably will not load, because how these class panels are built, they are built in the way that, for example, the whole Shadow Priest group, it's only loaded if you have the Vampiric Touch talent. It's made so the WeakAuras can switch over like whenever you change your specialization, and since the Classic and TBC nor the Wrath, it doesn't have like a strict spec choice. So you can play hybrid, you can play this and that, and because of this reason, if you want to play like, let's say, Shadow Priest and you're low level, you will need to just go to WeakAuras, open this like a whole group, go to this tab called load, and just uncheck talent, and that's it. But then also don't forget to either check it back or just update the class group from my Discord again. Alright, I think I explained you everything almost. If you want to make some changes to this LVI profile, but you don't want to rewrite this profile later, especially on your secondary character, I recommend you to open the profiles, create your profile, create your new profile, like let's say, I don't know, my new profile. Press OK and copy the settings from that profile that you made change to. Let me switch to that profile once again. Like let's say you want to move your like player frame to here, like party frames to here, and then you just go to that new profile that you just created and copy the settings from the profile DPS and tank, since you've made changes to this profile, and that's it. On the new character, you will run like the installation once again. You will overwrite your profile, and then after like the reload, after you complete all of the changes, you'll need to open the profiles tab again and just select like this profile, my new profile, basically. That's it. It's very easy. Alright guys, so what's next? Next, let's hop into my Discord channel. What else? There is a channel called TBC support. Here people ask their questions and we can answer them sometimes when we are free. I don't answer that frequently because I'm usually working on something, and mainly my admin no more is answering people, but sometimes I also do. Then there is a channel TBC changelog. Here you will be able to find all of the changelogs. We also post the links, so it's more comfortable for you to get the update. For example, here I updated the eat and drink button. You click on this icon, on this text, and it goes to that hour you just downloaded once again, copy the text, and then import it in game and basically update. Like, that's it. It's very simple. If you found any issue, any bug, or you need help with something, you can always ask me about that in the support channel, or you can also create a feedback topic here. We also check that on daily basis. Alright guys, thank you for being here, thank you for watching, and thank you for being a subscriber. That means a lot to me, and I see you in the next one. Goodbye.